Devil is a liar.
Devil is a liar. They will never prosper. I pray that my enemies follow the car.
Oh, I think he might be a liar. Oh, look at the camera. All kinds of crooked. Oh my god. This is a crooked ass show. Hey guys. Can you hear us? I love radio. Oh, it's just loud over us. Oh, hey. You gotta turn it down.
Chill.
Like this crooked ass show. You just gotta turn it down. Hi guys, thank you so much for tuning in. We're here. Praise God.
Praise the Lord. Hallelujah.
And so is Femi.
Yes, it's your boy Femi Lawson. Fine boy, no pimples, just dimples, just dimples.
Team dimples.
Oh my gosh, look at that matching.
Would you look at that matching? So there's only one diva here tonight, unfortunately, but we have the amazing Femi Lawson with us tonight.
Thanks for having me, by the way.
Thanks for coming. Last minute.
She called me late last night, around 2 a.m. in the morning, and I was like, ooh, what is going on here? And then she's like, oh, I just want you to be on the show. I was like, oh, okay.
Please. I know. You thought it was something else, didn't you?
I was getting excited,
A little excited?
Yeah, it's all good though.
That's okay. Maybe next time. Anyways, so let's first talk about, hey, DJ Richie.
Always.
How are you?
This is becoming a habit. I know because Femi is here. I'm going to let this one slide. I'm going to let it slide.
The drama?
She always just forgets about you, eh?
Always.
No respect.
I just got to run.
After he's there hustling, the man was there for 5 minutes, plugging in one plug, pulling out another.
Look at the sweat.
Sweat and blood and tears.
Sweat and blood and tears.
Oh, yeah,
and honestly,
It's a
I
real
really
one.
appreciate DJ Richie. He holds it down. He came in, swooped in, Superman the whole situation. Thank you very much.
That's what I do.
So we're having.
You even made the man's shirt on iron and everything.
You get me? This is a lot of work right now.
But we're here. We made it. The cocktail of the week. Let's go into the cocktail of the week real quick. What are we calling it?
I believe this cocktail is called the Purple Jollof.
The purple jollof.
Named after jollof rice. Jollof rice is usually orange.
Oh, okay.
But this one is like a little perk.
Because you mix, okay.
And the Nigeria tantalization with it, you mix it together, you got the purple jollof.
The tantalization, yes. Okay, so how do you like the drink? So it's Bambino, and our favorite, Bambino, and we mixed it with the Woody's pink grapefruit cooler. It's very...
you gotta try it, you gotta put your pinky up. Because if you don't put your pinky up, it's not official. Cheers. You have to look in the eyes, yo. Or it's not real.
Cheers. Oh my god, you made me spill my drink.
Was it the drink?
Cheers to a great show.
It's pretty nice though.
It's good, easy. Right? You just need a shot of vodka or something in there, and it should be even better. Anyways, so how was your weekend? What are you up to? What did you do?
My weekend is actually pretty chill. I didn't do too much. I kind of just been prepping because I've been traveling a lot.
I know. I noticed.
I just got back from Atlanta. I was at the A3C festival out there.
A3C.
A3C. So basically, it's like a big music festival they have out there.
Nice.
And I was hosting the Toronto showcase. It was an all Toronto showcase. So they had a bunch of Toronto artists coming down to Atlanta. And one thing about the States, they're so supportive.
Really?
Yeah.
I know. Compared to here, they're riding with you.
I can tell you when rappers here are performing. Even something as simple as, I want to see everybody's hands up in the air like this. In Toronto, people are just saying like, what do you think he is?
Yo, bro,
I'm not Drake, I'm not putting my hands up.
Who is this guy, bro?
You get what I'm saying?
It's true.
But in Atlanta, everybody yeah, fam, we put it up. Even if you're a terrible artist.
They're still supporting you.
Yeah. So
that's why they getting millions over there for the music they make. Because it's...
I've been coming, I'm dying, running down the wall.
The same song every time?
Every time, just a different beat.
Yeah.
Millionaires right there.
But that sounds like fun, Atlanta. Always wanted to go. You actually telling me some stuff that I don't know if a lot of people know, but maybe I need to pay a little bit more attention to Femi Lawson and some community things that you're doing.
Yes.
So talk a little bit about that.
A big part of me that people don't realize is I'm very involved in the community. I have my own grassroots organization. along with my friend Dwayne Honus, Dookie Dukes,
Okay.
called High Class. And what we do is arts-based programs for youth living in different marginalized communities. And one of the reasons why we started is because growing up in an area like Gin and Finch, one thing they want you to do is volunteer. You know, I think that's their way of like saying, you know what, we don't want you in the criminal justice system. So here, volunteer, you can get free pizza. But we realized it was literally just a thing where it's like, yeah, come to this program, we'll talk about certain topics and here's pizza, but you weren't really gaining anything.
Yeah.
So we said, you know, we should start our own programs. And actually, you know, because we're close to the youth and we know what they want, let's start our own organization. So we teamed up with Outreach Ontario, and we got introduced to a lady named Shahina, and we started applying for grants. So our first grant we got was $10,000, and that
nice.
kind of allowed us to kind of get our message out there. So what we did is workshops on photography, graphic design, and just community topics. So the program was basically designed to get a lot of the youth from Jane and Finch, Rexdale to kind of come together and just talk about different issues, but like put it out there in a way that is more than just, you know, we're speaking about it. We want to put an image out there. We want to have like a showcase. And yeah, ever since then, we kind of been, you know, going with it. I did 106 in York, which is a big
I remember you telling. I did hear about that. Didn't get a chance to go. Sorry, but next time.
You know, you're kind of hated a little bit, but it was.
I'll be a little bit more supportive, but I did hear about a lot about the 106 in York concert and everything that you were doing. So yeah.
And 106 in York, honestly, for me, was a very good opportunity for me to understand and get to know a lot of artists here in Toronto.
Yeah.
So J Soul. This is a story. So J Soul just got signed by Cash Money, and he's like all over tour with Jaquez. He used to hit me up and was like, you know, I really would love to volunteer and I would love to get involved with 106 in York. So his first time on stage was with me hosting 106 in York.
Oh, nice.
And it was just so good to see, like, you know, a couple years later, Cash Money signs this new kid,
that turned into
J Soul,
something.
you know? So it shows that, you know, people look at, you know, giving back as like, you know, what's the point? Is anyone gaining anything? You don't know the
what
victories that can come from it, you know. So, you know, hearing stories like that is just very inspiring. But yeah, it was a really
You're doing big things. Let them know where they find you and stuff, and
social media and all
hear
that.
about all this good stuff.
Well, you can check out my website, tantalization.ca. It's up and running.
Is it really tantalization?
Tantalization, everything, you know what I mean?
And what does the tantalization?
You're gonna have to spell that one.
I'll have to spell it off for them. No, I'm gonna explain what tantalization is.
Yeah,
so
break it down. Then spell it.
Tantalization is good vibrations, good energy, and the whole story behind it is the first time going to Nigeria. I went to a place called Tantalizers, and it was just like this restaurant, and it was in December. You know, I'm coming from this place where it's cold. Everyone's like screw facing. Then I go to this Tantalizers place, and everyone's happy. Nigerians are happy people, you know. Even if they have how are you doing, my friend? Yes, and I was just looking at everyone so happy and just good vibes, and I'm just like, yo, this is dope. So when I got back, I was hosting shows, and I would just break out and say, can everybody else say tantalization? And everybody would say it and not know what it meant. And I literally stuck with it for like 4 years until one day I'm like, yo, let me put up some merch and let me turn this into a thing.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because, you know, Afrofest, I tested it out and I printed like a bunch of hats and shirts, and like the promotion and the buzz was just crazy. Everyone was like, yo, let me cop the gear, even though they didn't know what it meant.
They didn't know what it was. Yeah.
But for me, it just really comes from a good place. Like, the way I see tantalization is just, you know, if you have good energy, good vibes, like that's what tantalization is, and it kind of just been spreading.
No, it's always good vibes with you, and that's what I appreciate, the tantalization of the wave.
And you already know that the girl don't like the tantalization too, though.
Yes, we love it. For me, we do. Anyways, moving into the show. So we want to talk about, I know we've been talking about Trump winning, being your president-elect. This whole week, everybody on every station saying all kinds of things, predictions everywhere. What does it mean for us here in Canada? Like, are we just as angry as the U.S., you think?
To be honest, I feel like more than ever, people are actually more proud to be Canadian. You know, I feel like Canada has its good and bad. Like, it's good in the sense that we know we're safe here, but it's bad in the sense that we're not as patriotic as Americans are. Like, we don't go around saying, yeah, Canadian, because the commercials don't represent us.
Yeah.
We're kind of like, oh, but I'm Nigerian, but I live in Canada. You know what I mean? But now everyone's like, yeah, you know, we're Canadian.
We're Canadian.
We're not American. We don't have to worry about your mess. You know, people, for the first time in years, saying, yeah, I want to move to Toronto.
But I think at the same time, so close to our borders, like the U.S. is right there. I think we should be a little bit concerned
Especially
that those
Toronto,
type
we're
of
dipped in.
yeah, we should be a little bit more concerned that, I don't know, maybe some of these things that they're trying to implement over there is going to trickle down into Canada, and especially if they want to come here, like the American ideal, the American lifestyle, they're going to try to push that onto us, and we're trying to stay a little bit more.
It's gonna. I feel like one of the biggest things though is Americans will have a hard time kind of adjusting to how culturally aware we are, because America has a culture in its own sense that, you know, the American dream and what that consists of, and how their ideologies and how they think. When they come to Canada, they realize that, oh wow, that's different. You know what I mean? The fact that you don't know the difference between a Jamaican accent and a Trini accent, for example. Yeah. Right? The cultural appropriations, like how we do things here compared to how they do things. That's all, in a sense, like something that I feel like they have to get adjusted to. But moreover, I feel, you know, Trump being elected it shows me that America is not the place that everyone thought it was.
Exactly. They thought they were actually progressing into a more accepting place and inclusive when it comes to minorities, immigrants, and everything like that. But in reality, the people that voted for him, they actually want all those immigrants out, and they want the minorities back into. This is what making America great again means. So it's a hot mess over there. And the Canadians actually this weekend, Torontonians, in an act of solidarity with the U.S. Protesters, about 1,000 people, they gathered at Nathan Phillips Square in Toronto, and they protest against Trump. So many were concerned about Trump's divisive campaign, that it could influence Canadian politics. So a quote from one of the protesters is that, "We're very close to the U.S. and I can see it coming to Canada." So we are a little bit concerned that their ideals and what Trump is trying to push, because Canada is not as diverse as you may think it is. Yes. Toronto is. That's definitely. But the prairies.
Saskatchewan.
Is any mandem in the Saskatchewan?
The name alone, like Saskatchewan.
The Regina.
I feel sorry
everywhere else.
There, you know?
So it's like you may think that Canada is so diverse and so accepting of everywhere else, but you know, at the end of the day, the majority of Canadians are white, and they probably agree with Trump and what he wants to bring into the U.S. So,
and then you talk about, like, you know, kind of the racism. You know, a lot of racism in Canada is more underlying. You know, they'll use things like, oh, you know, he's a visible minority, and the term visible minority was actually deemed a racist term by the UN years ago. But Canada is one of the only places that still use that term. Whereas in America, it's like, you know what? I don't like you because you're a nigger, and I don't like niggers, you know. But now it's giving them kind of that leverage to be like, well, Trump is in, and you're seeing a lot of the kind of the racial conflicts happening between different groups. And it's like, you know, they're almost feeling empowered. Like you hear now
that's
the KKK coming up. And
they're back.
Proud of Trump.
I think that's the thing, because a lot of people are talking about the policies and what may trickle down, and that's definitely important. But for me, it's like what he has done by him being in power now. Even if he doesn't agree with a lot of the things he said, he's given a voice to the people who really believe it. The people that voted for him really believe what he said and really want to build a wall and kick out all the immigrants. And so it's like now those people feel that they're empowered by having somebody who will defend them. So they're more outward with what they can do. And I heard even a coach like Greg Popovich, he even said, I'm afraid for African Americans right now. I'm afraid for Muslims. I'm afraid for any kind of minority, because Donald Trump being in the White House is one thing, but it's another thing for the Muslims and the black people and whoever else that are just walking on the street in Kentucky or Alabama or one of those places where before they may not have thought about doing it, but now they're like, yeah, Trump wants to get rid of you guys. We're going to start. We're going to start the process. You know what I mean?
And, you know, kind of going on your point, I feel like a big part of this is to see, you know, through all the controversies that Trump had, you would think if that was anyone else, of course you'll be out long time. It's white privilege, kind of for the world to see that, like, yes, white privilege is real.
Definitely.
You have money and you come from that group. You can get away with murder and people will still be like, oh, he's the best.
And they've been getting away with murder. So it's like, you know, this is just the next step to bring it back to, where you had to fight for every little thing that you have. But Trump, he was actually on 60 Minutes last night. He did an interview, him and his family, and he talked about the things that he wanted to do as president. So here's a couple of his what he had to say. So first, the wall is happening.
The man actually said he didn't even try to like ease in and be like, you know what, guys, we want to unite
consideration.
Straight up,
no, the wall.
We gotta put on these walls and get these.
Say, yo, it's a go up.
The wall is happening.
No,
yeah,
0.
So the wall is happening, and he says certain areas will be a fence. So if you do want to scale the fence, scale the fence. Then he talks about the immigrants that he'll be deporting 2 to 3 million undocumented immigrants, and he made it clear that it's anyone that's doing any type of illegal activity, criminals, drug dealers, immigrants that are being deported. Abortion, he says that he wants to bring abortion back to this state level. So he's going to appoint a Supreme Court judge that does not agree with abortion. So they're going to get rid of those Roe versus Wade. He's going to get rid of that. So he's going to bring it back to state level, and each individual state can decide whether it's illegal or not. Also, his supporters. So they talked about Trump supporters kind of mimicking what he said a lot of the times during the campaign. And he said that he hates to hear that, any type of racism or racist slogans going on or anything like that. He hates to hear it. And he's so saddened to hear that his supporters are acting in this way. And he tells them, don't do it. That's terrible.
I feel like that's kind of it's almost like you have the power to be on live television and you're not leading by example. One of the reasons why everyone kind of, loved Obama is because of his charisma. He might have hatred towards Trump, but he'll never go out and be like, you know what, Trump is an asshole. Yeah. Because he realized that he has a public platform. That's not the time that you kind of vent your own personal vendetta.
You tell Michelle that when you guys lay down in bed and she's lotioning your back, and you know what I mean.
You tell Michelle.
You tell Michelle on the low ski,
that dickhead Trump. Like you say it in that, but not
to a public platform.
General public.
You're saying you're saddened, but at the same time, everyone watching you doing it freely, and now you're elected is giving power towards those behaviors and those attitudes. So how are you going to say you're saddened when you're leading by example?
When that's what you started. So it's a sad day, a sad time that this is what's happening in the world, but we'll get through it. I hope that Canada stays the hell out of that madness.
Oh, Chappelle. I want to give a shout out to Dave Chappelle because he did SNL, and I thought it was so ironic that
Richie,
he hosted.
We're getting to that,
Oh,
but
my
that's
bad.
okay. Shout him out.
I just want to shout him out because everything he said, I like how he ended it. But I'm gonna let you get to that. Misha. You see, I'm gonna just stay over here.
He just went in though.
This is why I'm not on camera. This is
just
why I'm not on camera.
You know what? When we get there in a few minutes, I'm gonna let you have the stage.
All right, I'm gonna come back.
Trying to regulate you, fam.
This is my life.
This is the takeover show.
This is my
Nothing is
life.
going by like scripts for her anymore.
I know, because right now we really outnumber them still. When you really pray,
She doesn't have her second diva here. This is not 2 divas today. It's our 1 diva and Amanda.
And Amanda.
With Dea.
Amanda, we're holding it down. Thank you, guys. But let's move on to entertainment news. Let's be a little bit lighter. I know Trump, boo-hoo, we're sad, but we'll get through it, and hopefully things don't get as worse than what they really are. Okay, so in entertainment news, let's talk about, first of all, we got to shout out Delecia because we didn't shout her out off the top.
Delecia, see you, baby.
Hey, girl.
She's running in Jamaica, eh?
Yo, guaning with a
I seen a video about the girl on the head top that's going like TikTok.
She claims it's not her. But
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
I was watching the body cheek, and I was like, it looks similar to what I've seen before.
You pinpoint.
I pinpointed.
I like
it.
it.
I had a little oomph. The oomph in it,
Shout out to Delecia. Hope you're having a great, well, you look like you're having a great time anyways. Okay, so in entertainment news, I wanted to talk about how Prince Harry is dating a black girl, I guess you would say.
He watched Suits.
Black.
He watched Suits. And he was like, yo, I need her in my life.
And was feeling her. But the British media, they're pretty racist.
They're very racist.
Can we dash with the queen now? Like really and truly.
They don't want to.
You don't see your money?
No, I mean like.
I know she's
for Canada. Can we dash?
Right?
Dash her?
That's what you would think.
We're not no use. What's your purpose?
God bless the Queen.
Yo, they run
they run the world. They got them dollars. But yeah, so Prince Harry is dating a black girl. She's actually half white, half black, and British media have been like killing her with like all kinds of negative, racist, sexist headlines, and even on social media, they've been going on her Instagram page, all kinds, Twitter, all kinds of things. So this past week, the Prince Harry actually came to her defense. He released a statement, well, spoken in the voice of his people, whoever released it, not necessarily on. It was on his behalf, but the way it was written was kind of like
from the Buckingham Palace.
From Buckingham Palace, leave her alone type of thing.
But I thought it was a bold move, though.
Yeah,
I feel like it was a bold move because usually, especially when it comes to that high caliber, royalty, they don't really kind of feed into those kind of things.
Yeah.
But I felt that he was making a statement to be honest, I care about this girl a lot. And yeah, their lines were crossed, and he needed to send a message out to them.
And to actually defend it, because a lot of the times, if it's something like that's so sensitive where it comes to race and actually potentially a black person being in the monarchy or whatever, it's like they're trying to separate themselves from that. Yeah. So for him to say, no, I actually care about this female, leave her alone, that's a big move for him. So I big up Prince Harry. Once you go black, you never go back.
you know she throwing it back though.
and defend your girl, yeah. Go on, defend her. The Weeknd, we're talking about a lot of racism, a lot of racist things going on. So the Weeknd's girlfriend, he actually broke up with his girlfriend, his model girlfriend Bella Hadid, and they broke up because she's racist, apparently. I don't know how you can date a black person and be racist.
Yo, let me tell you.
Is that a thing?
Let me tell you exactly what it is.
He's Ethiopian.
People ignore certain things. You know how you have somebody that's racist?
Yeah.
And they'll do certain things
and that
are racist.
You see it.
But nobody wants to be like, bro, that's
like,
racist.
What?
So I feel like
what just happened?
The girl, this girl, she probably does a little 120 just like, ha ha ha. It got to a point where that ha 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 became... Wait.
Or you know what happened? She did it around one of his friends. And one of his friends was like, hold up, what was that?
Did you just yeah.
And then he looks at the Weeknd and he's like, Weeknd's like, what? And he's like, bruh, you didn't just, did you not?
You didn't catch that?
We in a different place? We in a different place right now?
And that's what they're saying. Sources are saying that she would make lots of racist comments, and they were having lots of disagreements as well about the election. Like, she was a Trump supporter and she voted for Trump, so there was lots of conflict there, and it was deuces.
You know what? I feel like sometimes it takes something like a Trump election, for you to spot out, racism. And it sucks because you should know it, but you know what? You can't get mad at the fact that somebody doesn't understand it.
Yeah.
It's just that sometimes it just takes people a different way to understand things. You know what I mean? Different kind of friends, different kind of groups you're in. But yeah, she was a little racist one.
The Weeknd's from Brampton, no?
Are they?
Yeah, Brampton.
Where is he? He's from Scarborough?
Oh, is that East End?
I was gonna tell him to come home and get a nice Brampton girl, but he's from the East, bro.
What are you trying to say? I'm from
they have some sweet girls, but
I'm one of them. Thank you. Better hold it down, Richie.
I love East End.
So yo, would you date the Weeknd if he hollered at you on the ones?
He cut his hair.
The man doesn't have the matte hair anymore.
That's a good sign.
That's #1 on his resume right now. I cut my hair.
I really appreciate that part, but I don't know. I'm not really attracted to light skinned guys. So.
Are you like?
Whoa! You know, we just like those racist comments. It's like we hear them, but we're just like, oh.
Is that racist for me to say I don't like light skinned guys?
Black people cannot be racist.
So what about
racism is based off of power.
What about light skin to light skin and light skin to dark skin?
Can I break this down? I took a class in Ryerson University.
I need you to do it for me.
Racism in Canadian society.
Do it for me.
And racism is based off of power. So for example, if you call a white person a cracker, right? Their family will never ever lose job opportunities based off of the color of their skin. But if a black person is called a nigger, there's history behind that, right? Where ancestors they weren't allowed to perform the same task as their white counterparts based off of the color of their skin, down to law, down to, you know what I mean? It's kind of that core group. Even, you know, people talk about Africans and things of that sort. You know, colonialism happened, like, you know what I mean? The British came. The reason why Britain is so rich is because they stole from Africa. You know what I mean? So I feel like a lot of people need to, I don't know, they need to friggin' learn their history, yo.
Yep,
and,
the real history.
Yeah, real history, you know.
The
and
real
I feel like
stuff.
maybe it's because I'm Nigerian that I think differently. Because it's like, I know my grandma, I know like the kings and queens in my family. But then I can't say that for some of my brethren because we come from different areas. And it's like your history, even though we're both black, is much different than mine.
Yeah,
you know
definitely.
what I mean? So it's just about opening your eyes and learning more than just what you're seeing on TV. People are too caught up in like, oh, this Instagram video showed me this, so this is what it is. And it's like, the messed up thing about today's society, people are not thinking deep. Somebody could have something trending and like a quote that's trending, and if enough people believe it, it becomes
true.
Real.
That's the time we live in right now.
And that's why Trump won. Trump was a celebrity, you know.
Femi, are you woke? You sound like you woke, my nigga.
I'm not trying to.
Femi is like, woke, y'all. My nigga.
Get too in there, you know. I mean,
you is woke, and I knew that's why I liked you from the beginning. So sweet.
He has his natural hair. That's
but we can
always. I got natural.
We can go into that and deeper. We're gonna do some podcasts and we're gonna go into that. Okay, so in other entertainment news, I wanted to actually talk about Apollo Nita being engaged. I don't know if people out there know about Apollo Nita, but he was on Atlanta Housewives. He was married to Phaedra Parks, and he went to jail initially for 5 years, and they were dating. When he got out, they got married, had a couple kids. He initially went to jail for like scamming.
Watch your bag, he's a scammer. Constantly watching the cameras.
And then he's back in jail now. For 8 years for the same scamming people.
Man, he didn't learn his lesson. Why don't these scammers just get their money?
No.
Flip it into something legit?
But that's the problem.
But the thing is with him, because he was a criminal to begin with, his wife is a successful lawyer. So he felt like he had to do something to match her, type of thing. So that's why he went back to scamming. So he went back to scamming, was sentenced to 8 years in jail. Him and his wife, they had problems. They were going through a divorce. The man is now engaged to another woman.
While he's in jail?
While he's in jail.
How do you get engaged to another woman while you're in jail?
And your divorce was just final.
I need someone to explain that.
Yeah.
What?
He's going to be on the show. He's going to be on Atlanta Housewives on this season.
In jail?
Via phone calls.
Wow.
In jail. So the fiance is going to be on the show. Messy. She
probably got an e-transfer.
It's that check. It's that. Yeah, she definitely got
she
something.
was supporting the man down.
She seen a couple zeros and was like, "Yo, we could do this."
The man's like, "Yo, you want that bag? This is the credit card." You know.
I also wanted to talk about the Cosby Show that is coming back to television. I know you guys have been missing the Cosby Show.
We need shows like that.
A positive representation of black people, black men, especially families. So we need that back. So it's coming back to TV screens. It was taken off after the alleged sexual assaults allegation that came out about Bill Cosby. So the Jasmine brand is reporting that the show will be back on Bounce TV. It is in the US, but hopefully eventually Canada will get on that board. And
you know, BT in Canada is different than BT in the States.
Very
completely different.
They've been showing the same videos in the morning
like 5 years.
For 5 years.
5? Yo, y'all are being nice when you say 5.
You know what it is?
Y'all are being
when
nice.
Viacom bought BET, they just took everything. And like Canadian broadcast, I guess they blocked out all that stuff too. So yeah,
we don't count.
So we can't sell our tapes.
We don't count. We don't count in ratings.
Care.
We don't count in anything.
We get absolutely nothing. So I wanted to get into the 5 things in a man's car that are red flags.
Yo,
who
comes up with these ones? I feel like it's that, like,
you know, it wasn't me.
It's a single girl that, like, she probably was in the car. The man kicked her out of the car, and she's like, "Yo, this is the reason why he kicked me out of the car."
Exactly.
But I feel like at the same time, this list can go for women as well. Because like I was reading through it, I was just like, "Damn, this sounds like my car."
You fell into it.
I fell into a few categories. So let's go into the 5 things that are red flags. Like, say you're dating a guy, you get into his car, and you see like, what the hell? I can't talk to this guy. So number 1, a manly scented air freshener. So if you go into the car and it smells like overly fresh, like
How is that a
Wait. One
He's
second.
he's trying to hide something.
No, that's the idiot thing I ever heard of my life.
Yo, Femi, bro, I'm so glad you're here tonight.
No. You see, this is why two divas need a man to around. Let me tell you guys something, first of all. Because I know some guys, they'll have probably like
He's hiding something.
A pine tree air freshener. It's just to make the car smell better. What are you trying to hide?
But I'm just saying, if it's super strong, you're trying to cover up something.
What is he trying to cover up?
I don't know.
Make her answer. What are you trying to cover up?
You're trying to go to some lengths to distract me from what went down in the car.
This is the craziness. You know what they talk about emotional.
This is my number one.
Logical.
Hey,
that is just an emotional thought.
The person that wrote that list. By the end of this list, I'm gonna know their whole story. I'm gonna know exactly what happened to them.
Number 2, sweaty workout clothes. So working out is great. I'm not saying that it's not important. Yay for you working out. But if you can't find the time between workouts to remove the sweaty, disgusting clothes from your car and, I don't know, wash them, not have them in there.
What is this a sign of?
What's that a sign of?
They're
living a healthy, active lifestyle.
Uncleanliness.
They happen to have some clothes. Guess what? I'll put it in the trunk.
I'm not trying to die.
I'll take all my clothes.
I'm not trying to die of a heart attack.
If you go into a man's car and it smells like gym clothes.
But wait a minute.
You can't have air freshener.
Air fresheners would have blocked that smell, but you wanted to act crazy.
Where we at right now? Where we at right now, society?
Yo,
you guys are a little riled out, man.
A woman.
You guys are a little riled out.
Realistically, the first one says your car can't smell too good, and then the second one says your car can't smell bad.
That's right. We need a good balance.
This is why.
Thank you.
Hey, yo.
You
know what? This is why Goldilocks was a girl and not a guy, because she couldn't get something. One was too hot, one was too cold.
Who told her to go and
choose? Who told her? You get what I'm saying?
Go to your house. Why eat food at your house? But you're picking bread.
Number 3, use napkins and never. If you have all kinds of used napkins rolled up in your car, I'm very concerned.
What in
you're not cooking for me. You're not cooking for me.
Napkins have to do with anything?
You're not cooking.
Maybe he just has to clean up his car.
A little bit. Come on. Why are you?
Do you want to know something very interesting about this list? A men's washroom and a woman's washroom. Which one's cleaner?
The men's.
We have
10 times out of 10.
Thank you. If you go in a woman's car, how many used napkins you're gonna see? You're gonna see eyelashes. You're gonna see lipstick.
You get girls that come into the men's washroom because they're like, yo, that washroom over there is disgusting.
Disgusting.
Anyways, number 4. I'm not saying I'm the one that created this list. I'm just reporting the news.
Watch this next one. What's the next one? Say the next one.
I'm just reporting the news. Number 4, CDs and.
Yo, this is the reason why there's a lot of single
CDs
ladies out there.
CDs because you need to step into the new millennium and.
Hey, yo, I have a question for you. Do you
hold up.
Do you agree with this list?
I need Misha.
No. I need you to look at my eyes. Do you agree with this list?
I'm not saying.
No, you're not looking in my eyes. You know somebody lies, but they look away and they can't look you right in your eyes.
No, there are a few things I agree with. The nasty clothes. I agree with the nasty clothes in the car. I agree with the scent where you're choking me on man smell. I don't want to smell that. Find the CDs because I'm stuck in 1995.
Do you have CDs in your car?
I do have.
Yo, we gotta watch out for her.
Yeah, that's a problem.
See how crazy
that's a problem.
And number 5, have your belongings in the backseat of your car.
I feel like that's ladies too. Ladies probably have more things in their car. In their trunk, they have heels.
Yeah, like 7 pairs.
You know, they have extra dresses for their girls that going out.
Exactly.
But in your trunk though, like in your back seat.
So I get the only reason it's not in your back seat is because you haven't moved it to the trunk yet.
Yeah,
that's the only.
So when you guys come in, they just move it to the trunk.
I'm just saying.
So you gotta spot it down and be like, oh,
clean up your car,
girl. Watch out for him.
Clean up your car and be presentable if you're bringing a lady into the car.
Do we have the name of the person that made that list? I need to contact her.
This was in Men's Fitness.
I need to talk.
This was a Men's Fitness.
Did she pay to get onto this magazine?
Not she. This was a Men's Fitness list of things.
They just needed an article to be written.
They were short. They were short on news. They were watching the election. That's what they're watching the election. Overly excited.
Richie. So this is your part of the show.
Oh, is it?
This is Legends, and because Dave Chappelle hosted this
Oh,
this Saturday on Saturday Night Live. I was just like, that's my nigga. So let me shout him out. He is a stand-up legend.
definitely,
Yes, definitely.
For sure. And I just want to big up Dave Chappelle. So he is our legend of the week. So David Kari Weber Chappelle was born August 24th, 1973. He's a stand-up comedian, screenwriter, producer, and actor. He began his career in 93 in Robin Hood Men in Tights. And he landed a supporting role in The Nutty Professor. If you remember, he was the stand-up comedian that was clowning the clump. Yes, on stage. And he was also in Blue Streak, Half Baked. Everybody knows him from that comedy as well. And in 2000, he recorded his HBO special, Dave Chappelle Killing Them Softly. Have you seen that one? Anybody? I haven't seen that one. I'll be honest. In 2003, Dave Chappelle became widely known by his sketch comedy television series, Chappelle Show. And it's so crazy, little side note, that I went to this DVD all-purpose kind of store, and they had all kinds of old school like DVDs that you couldn't find anywhere else. And we ended up finding Chappelle Show season 1 and 2, and that was like maybe a week before they announced that he was hosting Saturday Night Live. So we're just like, we're all Chappelled up right now. And then he started to host. So we got our fill of the Chappelle Show, the funniest sketch show ever.
Most definitely.
The show, it parodied many aspects of American culture, including racial stereotypes, politics, and pop culture. Along with comedy skits, the show also featured this one all the way up. Oh, there we go. Hold on. There we go. Along with comedy skits, the show also featured hip-hop performances by well-known performers like A Tribe Called Quest. There was one with Common and Kanye West, actually. He was featured on a Common song on that show. So that was a crazy performance when I was watching it as well. And he...
Your thing is not liking you right
It's
now.
so annoying.
It's okay.
Can I just do my thing? Oh, scroll up just a little bit more. Just a little. No.
You're almost there.
Yeah. There it is.
Are we there? Okay, so also
If she got that ass, that's a problem.
in 2004, Chappelle actually recorded his second special for Showtime, which was Chappelle for What It's Worth. I saw that stand up. Hilarious. It's as smooth as eggs. Mo monkey pussy for me, nigga.
She said as smooth as eggs.
You have to watch that stand up. Absolutely hilarious. So in 2004, after season 2 of the Chappelle Show, he was offered a contract for $50 million, $55 million, and he dipped right out.
He ran.
And he said, a quote is that he disliked the 20 hours a day that he worked every day, and the popularity of the show was making it difficult for him to continue his stand-up career. He actually walked off the stage after people were heckling and yelling, "It's Rick James, bitch," or "I'm Rick James, bitch," at him during a stand-up show. So that was something he was going through and had lots of conflicts with.
He said I remember he mentioned that he felt that the laughs were no longer around kind of like what he was kind of showing, but it was more like they're laughing at him rather than with him.
Yeah.
And I think that said that really got to him as well.
And the thing is with him, and a lot of reports came out because he went to Africa. He left the continent, and a lot of reports came out that he's on drugs, he's in rehab, he's going through therapy, all these things, and he's just like, no, I just wanted to live a normal life. It just became too much for him, and that's very understandable. Like when you get to a point where it's not about the art anymore, it becomes about money and like everything other than what you started your career for. So he took a stand, lost a lot of friends and a lot of support in the industry for it, but I gotta salute him for standing up for what he believed in. So as you know, he's been doing stand-up. That's his thing. That's what he loves the absolute most. So he does shows all over. He came back with the movie, what movie was it? Sorry, it's right here. his block party in 2004.
Oh, super dope.
And that was amazing. And the Refugees that was the last time they actually reunited and did some songs together as well. So I just want to shout out to Chappelle. He did an amazing job on SNL. You want to talk about it, Richie?
She gave you that.
My turn now. She gave me that.
She gave you that. She even pointed the finger.
No, I watched. I was excited because I heard he was doing it, and then the Tribe Called Quest was the musical guest. So it was definitely something that I wanted to tune into. But then with Trump winning, it seemed like it was really the perfect time and the perfect person. Yeah. You know what I mean? There's probably like a handful of people that could have handled that. Mm-hmm. So when he did his monologue, I think he did it. It was a 9.9 out of 10. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Everything was on point because he was able to make everyone laugh. He was able to touch sensitive subjects and topics, but still have a comical standpoint on it, but then also make you think as well. You know what I mean? And it wasn't all Trump, we hate Trump, mm-hmm. because he even said, now that Trump won, you got a bunch of people saying, I'm leaving, I'm out of here, whatever. And he's like, nah, I'm chilling. I just got some money. Yeah. And this guy didn't pay taxes for like 35 years. I'm trying to get a tax break. So, it was funny because it's like you have everybody that's all against Trump, protests and everything, but you have this black guy who's like, you know what? Yeah, it's not the greatest outcome, but he even said at the end, like, we've always been marginalized and we've always been a people that had to fight for what we have. So at the end of the day, he's gonna give Trump a chance, and he just hopes that Trump will give black people, all minorities, a fair chance as well, the same way they're gonna give to him. So I think he handled it perfectly, and of course during the sketches he brought back some of the most iconic characters in sketch comedy. So
who did he do? He did
the crackhead,
Tyrone
the crackhead. He did the pimp.
Yeah. Was Ashley Larry there? I feel like I saw Ashley Larry.
The spray dude, and he did the black blind guy. I don't know his name.
The black white supremacist.
The black white supremacist.
That's the perfect time to bring it
and
up.
It was
so perfect.
There's a lot of real life ones,
And it was just real dope. Yeah. It was real dope. So shout out Dave Chappelle.
It was really good.
Yeah.
No, that was like the opening monologue for me. Like, it was so timely. It was so like, that's exactly what America needed. And I feel like a lot of people tuned in because they were just like, oh shoot, it's Chappelle that's gonna do this right now. And he did not play around when it came to his show, when calling people out. He didn't care if he was friends with them. Like on one of the shows, when he did the R. Kelly skit, where he did a video and the song "Pee on You" or whatever. And R. Kelly is just like, how could you make a video or a song about pissing on people? And he's just like, how could you? You did it first.
You did it in real life.
You did it in
real life. So it's like, he didn't care like who had anything to say about whatever. It's art, and he's going to do it, and that's why I gotta salute him. So that's our legend of the week.
Big up.
Shout out Chappelle. I also wanted to go into since I don't know, I feel like anything I say that will help men be better it's not coming across very well.
Here we go.
What's the next list?
Show. These are 10 things that
she got 10 this time. They had 5 the last time. Now you got 10.
The joke is my computer is freezing and it's making me
there's probably a reason why your computer's freezing.
It's a sign.
There's probably a real reason behind this.
It's making me really nervous because I just... Okay, maybe I can... Okay, so these are 10 things that you should kind of look out for when dating. In terms of like women, when you go on a date or if you're dating a man, just make sure that... Thank you, Femi. It's a mess. This complete show is a mess.
What are the 10 things?
I know, it's gone.
I think the first one was talking about something.
Not being ignored.
I think the first one was talking about something. I think it was talking about something important.
God, I'm so sad. It's gone.
All right, family. Let's see. What was the topic?
I think the 10 things that women kind of what they dislike about men.
The things that men should not do while there we go. 10 turnoffs.
Okay, Femi. While she's looking for the list, let's see if we could come up with 10 turnoffs that we as men think.
My number one turnoff?
No, is it for men to women or women like it turns off a woman?
It turns off. Yeah.
So 10 things a man does
that a man does
that turns off a woman.
Oh.
So one, since you guys ain't got nothing, and my shit is back. Number one, being ignored.
We missed our chance.
Being ignored.
Being ignored.
Okay.
If I'm telling you a story at the end of the day, and about my day that was so frustrating, or something that's important to me, and you're on your phone like this.
Okay.
That's rude.
There's two things.
You do that all the time.
There's two things there though.
What?
One, sometimes we've already known each other for a very long period of time. You know those women that just talk and talk
And you know where the story goes.
Talk and talk and talk and talk and talk.
Yep.
And then when they finish talking, they talk a little bit more.
Yeah.
There gets a point there where the conversation doesn't become around what you're talking about, but just the fact that you're just talking so much. So you tune out. Because if the conversation was interesting, why am I on my phone?
And the thing is, if you know the woman, it's like, okay, she got a 7-minute story. It's really only a minute and 30 seconds that's important.
Yes.
So you could do your thing because you done picked up the main points. And then when
but if you're showing her that you're not interested in what she's saying,
take a hint.
That's not the point though.
Take a hint.
You know what? I could be interested. And if you did ask me to retell your story, I probably could retell all of your points and see where you did wrong and where she did wrong. But you're just trying to speak out and you want to hear the yeah.
Be
No,
involved.
she didn't. No,
I
she
listened to
didn't.
your, I don't know, stories about the mandem, and I don't know, I played ball and I scored 15 points today.
Shows the kind of guy she talks to. Shows the kind of guy she talks to. The man them playing ball.
That was the highlight of his day.
Number two.
The man that dunked on me and he got hit.
I can only go into 5 because we don't have much time. Number 2, you have more swagger than substance. You talk about the things that you have, what you do.
I blame that on the women, because oftentimes they are attracted to the swagger and the booth hoppers, for example. They're seeing.
But that's not a woman though. That's not a woman. That's the problem. The ones that are attracted to these things.
Oh, shots fired. Oh,
so you're saying women are not attracted to swagger?
That's not.
She's saying it's not a woman.
A woman is far beyond.
It's like a little girl.
Booth hoppers. Yeah,
it's like a little girl.
Young girls.
Oh, are you saying woman? Are you saying women? As in women are not that type?
Okay, a woman that is clear on what she wants, what she needs, what she's looking for, who she is, and what she values in life is not going to look at a booth hopper like, oh my God, or not going to look at bottles in a booth like, oh my God, he's just ordered 4 bottles. I'm going to go over there and talk to him. No, like that it doesn't impress me.
Okay, so now I'm gonna get her right now. Watch this.
Get her.
The first conversation we had during the show, they were talking about the car and how the guy that has the messy things in the back of a car, I look at that individual as someone who's trying to figure out their lives. They might be a very, very good individual, but they're just trying to figure things out. Now, the guy that has the clean car, right? He's probably has a little bit more money. So guess what? When he wears a shirt, he's the kind of guy to throw out a white shirt after he wears it once. So you're telling me now?
Nah, that's bullshit. Because cleaning your car,
You hear how she said bullshit?
Cleaning your car.
She didn't say, Femi, you know what? You have a great point,
Cleaning
but I
your
think
car.
differently. She said
no,
bullshit.
that's bullshit.
You have to understand when you hear a reply like bullshit.
I'm learning.
Rather than I hear your comments and I think differently, it shows the mentality there. It does.
No, it shows that you're talking out your ass right now.
Oh, now I'm getting put down.
I'm glad.
For my opinion.
I am glad I'm on.
If I said this to her and I said you're talking out your ass, you know how many women we get?
No, I'm
you're a dog.
I'm glad I'm on this side of the table.
Call me out, whatever. But a man that cleans his car doesn't mean that, or a man's car that's messy. He could just be a messy person. Period. It doesn't mean that he has more money than whoever. That does not apply across the board. Number 1. Number 2, what we're talking about right now is more swagger than substance. Okay.
So explain your swagger and substance, please.
So you talk about the things that you have, or material things are more important than actually holding a good conversation like what we're holding today.
Okay. Well, I think a big part of that is probably like self-esteem. Self-esteem is seen differently in girls than guys. Some guys talk about things that they have because it takes away from the fact that maybe that's what they think a lot of females are attracted to. When you look at the industry on social media today, it seems like all the girls that are winning are the ones who are Dating the Ball Players, who are Basketball Wives LA. We just spoke about Real Housewives of Atlanta. Those shows, every girl from every part of life watches it. Why is that the case?
And they ain't got
no
substance.
I watch some of them. I do.
You watch some?
Yeah.
What do you watch?
Honestly, Ratchet TV for me, it's just these people are absolutely ridiculous. It's like watching a car crash happen, and
but you're still watching it though.
Yeah.
I
don't watch it like, oh my god, I have to get me a baller and I have.
Are you up to date? Are you up to date with?
No, I'm not up to date. I used to be, but I'm woke now, Femi.
You're woke.
Anyways, number 3. preoccupation with sex. They're always talking about sex and want to do things that are sexual, and everything has to do with sex. Open your mind. Other things in life.
Do you not enjoy sexual conversations? The late nights?
It depends on who it is.
If you're attracted to the guy. If you are attracted to the guy.
Okay.
Did you hear the pause?
There's a lot of asterisks beside this.
No, my thing is, when it comes to talking about sex or insinuating or whatever, I just feel like it depends on the person. It depends on how long you've been talking. I don't want to, if we're on date like 3 or whatever, and you want to sit up at 3 o'clock in the morning and talk about, oh, I'm going to put it here or there, wherever.
Don't you admire the bluntness? Would you rather the guy fake it for the first 4 dates and then brings it up the 5th day and you realize he's a big perv? So you prefer the guy that bullshits you, and then tells you what he really wants to do?
No, I think you can get. If a man brings up sex on the very first date and that's a prominent conversation, that to me is like, we're done. Because that's not what I'm looking for. If that's what I'm looking for and you fine, then we could talk.
I can agree with that. I mean, I agree with it in a sense that if it's a first or second date and that's all he's talking about.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I can agree with that part of it. But if it's like 4th, 5th, 6th.
Yeah, I'm not saying we can't talk about sex at all. But if that's what you're bringing to the table at all times, then not.
What if that's all he's good at?
And then you also have the girls
then we can talk.
But then you also have the girls that are like, yo, oh my gosh, all the girls just like talk about like spiritual stuff, and like I'm just like, it doesn't talk about sex or anything. Like you can't
win.
So it's like it really
you
depends
have to
on the girl
have an even balance at the same time. Because if you don't talk about sex, are you attracted to me? Like, do you find me attractive in that way? So
you see,
and then you start questioning yourself. What if you're suggesting a lot of sexual things without even knowing it? Because some girls are very, very flirtatious, and they be like, "Ooh,
yeah, look how Misha looking at you right now. Look how Misha looking at you. Look,
those lips. Though.
Look how she looking at you. Look. You see?
That's how I'm looking away. She's trying to use me as a sexual object. I will not be objectified.
No, but okay, if that's what you're putting out there, that's what you're going to get back, right? So if that's what you're looking for, that's what you're putting out.
True.
You're going to get it back. So that's my take on that part. Okay. But I know we have a couple minutes left. I wanted to get into very quickly. Do you have we can talk about your diary story, because I know you have all kinds of stories.
You want a diary story?
Yeah, like Femi's diary, like dating diary.
Dating diary.
Whether it's bad, tantalizing, or dangerous, or anything. I'll let you think about that for a minute or two, and then we can get into very quickly. I just have a couple tips when it comes to doing a quick makeup. Because I know like in the mornings, you're just like, oh, I'm just going to go to work looking dead. And I don't want you to go to work looking dead. So I'm going to do 4 quick things that you can do in the morning that'll help you out in terms of making you look fresh and brand new.
I like natural. I don't like to be hugging girls and it's like their faces in my white shirts.
That's the fresh and natural look. So number 1, if you have any dark circles, like if you're tired from the night before or just over time, you develop dark circles under your eyes, make sure you use concealer. That's number one. So you wake up in the morning, damn, I look super tired. Use your concealer. Whether it's stress, lack of sleep, hormonal changes, it affects your skin color. So you have to make sure you conceal those things. And men, don't be afraid when we take off the concealer and it's like,
surprise.
Love me. Please. No. Okay. Number 2, use foundation. So when you put your concealer on, make sure you get matching foundation that'll match it. So if you don't want to use foundation and get any on Femi's nice white shirt, You can always just use a loose powder over your concealer, and that'll smooth out your skin and make you look fresh.
Sometimes girls use like a completely different color than their skin tone, and they look like two different. Like their neck looks different.
Different from there. They just don't know what they're doing, and they should watch the show. Number 3, define your eyes. I always say once your eyes, your lashes, and your lips are popping, you can take on the world. You can do anything. So make sure you use mascara. If you don't want to use mascara, you can use eyeliner. Anything that will give your eyes definition. What I like to do is line the water line with gold. Any gold powder. You can use that. And number 4, you finish with a soft gloss. So fresh, glossy, pretty look for the daytime. So 4 things. Femi?
I guess this has to do with date etiquette. I find that in this day of social media, there's a lot of interesting things that happen on dates. I remember, what was this about? Well, maybe a couple years ago, I was on a date with this individual who, cool girl, very beautiful. But I noticed, she was always on her phone. Not texting as well, but it was more of snapping.
Snapchat.
Yes. Girls have this thing where they want to snap everything that's going on.
Yeah.
Especially conversations like this that are happening on a one-on-one, and you're snapping without even me knowing it, but I know you're snapping.
So
a lot of girls do this stuff.
So she has her phone away from you kind of thing, and she's
snapping.
So you can hear it.
I can hear it. Yes, I can hear it because it accidentally plays back.
Right.
And it's like, oh my gosh, something.
Right.
And it's not only, on a date. Like, I remember I've been in clubs where, some females will come over and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And it's like, they're snapping. Why are you snapping? Why are girls so caught up in this? Like, oh my gosh, girl, you need to see what's going on right now in this very moment. I feel like you're almost losing touch with what's going on in the real life element, and you're so caught up in social media that you don't know why you're single. You're single because you're more in love with Snapchat than the person that you're trying to talk to. The person in front of you. So I feel like a big part of dating should be actually getting to know the person and stop assuming through all these ratchet television shows that we're always up to no good, because that's the point. Like, they always think that we're on something. Just because I said hi to 5 females before we walked in does not mean I'm a jealous.
So I got a question for you real quick before we end, because your star is rising every day, every week, every year, and you're a celebrity at this point. Like, you certified, you're a celebrity. How is it dating for you? You got like 30 seconds, but how is it dating for you now?
Well, right now, I'm in a situation. Me gotta take care of me nice. Plenty jollof. But now, to be honest, is like, you have to understand how people are with their friends. And
10 seconds.
And you understand how that person is with you. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Are you loving me because of me, or are you loving me because of what you hear, what you see? And I think once you find someone for you, you just know, and everything will work out.
Thank you so much, Femi. I appreciate you, and thank you for coming to the show and riding this out with us. Shout out to Divas.
There we go. See y'all next week.
One station around iLife Radio, the new social network.
Hello there, this is Benjamin Clementine, and listening to iLoveRadio.com.
This is Liz Lockery. You're listening to iLive Radio.
This is Dwight Drummond from CBC News Toronto, and you're listening to iLive Radio.
Vibes and Vinyl is here every Friday live at 8 p.m. on iLiveRadio.com. Formerly of Toronto's FM radio airwaves, DJs Gene King and Ray Persad are in the house once again to continue their tradition, promoting great house music to the world. You will hear exclusive releases and sometimes traveling back in time via some of the best disco